Do you want to learn the basics of Snatcher 3.0? Okay. Well, the neat thing about Snatcher 3.0 is that it renders a website into a tree view. And that's very similar to how you think of like your files when you're looking at your file system on Windows using Windows Explorer. You see them in a tree. So take that concept and then apply it to the web. So, for example, I can go up here to the URL edit field, which is very similar, identical to the URL field in Internet Explorer Firefox. I can type in a website. I'll type in simpsoncrazy.com. Then I can press enter, or I can press this button, the retrieve or go button, and it will download the site and render it into a tree. Now what you're seeing is basically the dependencies on the home page. Here's the home page. So you can see here there's a link to a contact page, a link to news page, movie page, DVD page, and so on. Here you can see an image. If we scroll down some more, you'll see more images, more links. You can see there's a bunch of links on here. Well, I can delve in as deeply as I'd like. So for example, if I want to go into the movie page, I click on movie with a little plus, and it takes me, it repeats the process, downloads that page and parses it and shows it in a tree view. I can keep going and keep going. The neat thing is really not doing this repeated download or delving into the site. It's really more interesting to probably look at the page. You can actually tell more. But the actual power of Snatcher comes in the downloading. So for example, down here there is a clips page. There it is. We can expand that out and you can see there's a bunch of AVI files here. Well, that's good. I'd like to download a bunch of Simpsons AVI files. So I can right click, choose select, because in Snatcher if you want to download something it needs to be selected. There is another way to do it and I'll share that with you in just a moment. But I can choose select all video files and it selects all video files. Well, how does it know what a video file is? We can go into the options, click on file types and filters, and you can see here that there's categories for different types of files or resources on the web. And you can see here video is all of the video files are defined by the extensions that you support, like AVI, MOV, WMV. Maybe we want to add some like an MP4. Now when we parse again and we find MP4 files, Snatcher will treat those as video files. So that when you right click and choose select all video files, it'll also select those. And you can move these around as you need. Let's go back to show all file types though. Because if we were to if we were to hide these, for example, you can see it compresses down and doesn't show you as much. Okay, let's go back to options. Go back to where we were. Okay, so to download, we have these items checked. Excuse me. So we can click the download button. It'll start downloading all the AVI files. But before I do that, I'll show you a more powerful way to download. Now, if you want to do it this way, it's perfectly fine. But if you wanted to download an entire site or to instruct Snatcher to crawl a site and download files, this is what you want to do. You want to use the right-click menu. The right-click menu is really the gateway to almost everything in Snatcher 3.0. So you can right-click on this main page, go down to download the site. It'll bring up the multi-level download dialog, and there's a lot of power in this dialog. So you can tell it to download as many, the entire site if you want to. You can do a level sort of idea. It's actually not as useful in my experience. I think it's better to do this. If you want to, you can generate subfolders. So for example, if whatever folders that the site creates, Snatcher will try to mimic that same structure. For this one, this example, I'm not going to do that, but I am going to use a filter. Let's say I want to have Snatcher crawl the site and look for video files. Well, I can do it this way. I can select all the video files. Okay. Press OK. And you have the option to skip files if you want, small files and large files. That's really useful, I found, for thumbnails, for example. If you want to skip thumbnails, you just want to get the big version of the picture, then you can tell Snatcher to skip files of certain size. But it's not really so useful in this case. So now I can press start and it will start crawling the site searching for video files. And what it's doing right now is it's going file by file, not really file by file, excuse me, link by link, and crawling into those links, parsing the files, looking for video files. And when it finds them, it'll start downloading them. But let's say I don't want to do that. It's basically, I mean, at this point you want to probably walk away for a while and let Snatcher do its thing. Let's stop that. And another way, did you see how it said the download cancel was pending? Snatcher tries very hard to keep the UI responsive while it's downloading and while you're trying to stop it. So I think everyone's probably familiar with how when you try to stop an application in Windows sometimes, like by pressing the X, often it doesn't go away, right? Well, Snatcher works very hard to stay as responsive as possible. So if you press the stop button repeatedly, meaning, hey, I really want to stop, it'll do its best to stop. Okay, let's go back though. Let's say, well, let's just show you an example. Let's say we just start pressing download now. Oh, actually, better yet, go up here. If you're doing, when you right-click and do that multi-level download feature, the checked items don't matter in that case. However, when you're using this button, the checked items do matter. So if I uncheck some files, they'll be skipped when I press download. And you can see it's starting with the Butterfinger ice cream download, and it's downloading that file. And when that file is downloaded, it'll put a little check mark up, as you can see here, and it'll move to the next file. And if you're lucky enough to find a big folder with a bunch of really good content there, you save yourself the hassle of right-clicking save, and you just let Snatcher do its thing this way. Okay, let's stop again. Let's see what else we can do here. You've seen most everything already. It's just a matter of the kinds of sites you're interested in downloading. Most of the power is right here. There's all sorts of little features, like you can open it in Internet Explorer if you want to see what it looks like. You can copy the URL if you want to paste it into an email or something. Of course, you have select, deselect. Properties basically shows you a little bit about the file, tries to determine the file size, that sort of thing. Options will get you back here. And help will take you to the online help, which hopefully will have the latest problems and solutions that users have found. And then the About box will tell you how many days you have remaining on your trial version, if that's what you're running, or if you've registered, you'll see your name here. It'll say registered to, and then have your name. And then this link will go to the home page. And well, I believe that is just about it. Hope this was helpful, and well, good luck in your downloading. Hope you can find everything you're looking for, and hopefully Snatcher can crawl its way to download happiness.